Hey everybody, it's Lyra. Thank you so much for checking out this video. It will be a bit longer than the ones I normally post, and that's just because I'm doing a bit of a character tour of my Qigong Master Lyra, due to a few requests that have come through on the YouTube channel. So I guess first disclaimer is to say that my stats are not perfect. It's all personal preference on how you want to go with your character and the direction you want to take. So what you're going to be seeing in this video today is where my character currently is at, and I guess where or what I prefer over other things in the game. I am also filming this video during banquets, so apologies for all the pop-ups. It's not a scripted video, so if I miss things or if I speak too fast, I apologize, but if you did have any questions, just pop it in the comment box below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So I guess to start off with is that we can go through my basic stats. So I have just under 38,000 magic attack, 1,680 intelligence, 2.2-ish K heavy attack, as well as just under 700 in charged attack there. So these are the three stats that I'm driving for my character. I am now at the position where I can start to lower my intelligence as well as my heavy attack. And I guess while heavy attack is my highest stat, I've just found that it's very stat intensive to keep very high. And I think the more like stats that you invest into heavy attack, the damage bonus that you get from it, as well as the heavy attack rate percentage that you get in return, isn't all that much. So I prefer to actually invest those stats, and you can see that I've actually started to build my charged attack here, to build a bit more of a hybrid character, just to get a little bit more tanky for PvP purposes, really. Looking at my advanced stats, so my crit is 134.3, crit resist is at 80.4. I haven't really done anything at all with hit and dodge, so I'll skip that. 86.2 magic penetration. I have 57.2 damage bonus, but as a Qigong with my mantra shield skill, when I do pop that skill, I do get a 5% extra damage. So depending on my enchant, it's normally about the 60s for my damage bonus. For my damage reduction, it's 34.1. I'm still missing quite a bit from runes that I haven't washed out. My crit damage is at 82.2. My aim is to get to 100, and crit damage reduction is at 95.6. You will notice that I do not use debuff damage boost at all. Again, just personal preference, and I haven't really invested too much into it, as I'm not certain that debuff damage boost is great for Qigong. So I've just left it, and I only have just under 40% debuff damage resist, which I think could definitely be higher, seeing as now a lot of people are starting to build DDB. Everything else I think is not all that important, so I'll just skip it. But to go through my gear, you'll find that all of my stats are really focused on heavy attack stats. And yeah, just bearing in mind as well that the stats that I'm showing you is based on enchants on my weapons, as well as food. Yeah, so for the gear special skill for my main weapon as well as my offhand weapon, I am still using heavy attack. I do not use the Victor set or the Hunter set, which I have noticed is a very popular combination in HKT. But I just definitely prefer to have heavy attack because it's a lot more stable, and it's consistent damage. Whereas those two sets, it's situational. So your opponent has to have 20% HP or below, or it's based on 3% chance for the skill to activate. So yeah, I just prefer something a bit more stable and consistent. For the gear set, so again, you'll see that all of my stats are heavy attack. I am using a 2x2 gear set, so 2 Thunder for the 12% crit damage increase, as well as 2 Valor for the crit damage reduction of 15%, which you can see here, and it's really just the best of both worlds. Looking at my cloak, so nothing special at all here. It's a pretty unimpressive cloak. You can see that I have reforged it 357 times. And that's just purely because I don't think I'm very lucky with the cloak. So I'll just stick to whatever I have here now. Looking at my artifacts, so only 132 total points here. I have not invested a lot in artifacts at all because it is very, very material heavy. So pretty much I stopped investing in it after I got Hot Pursuit. That and because I pretty much only use Shadow Dodge for most situations anyway. So I've left it. Looking at my Spirimon, so Spell Break is my feature. I have ascended my Spirimon, or rebirthed my Spirimon twice already. The skill that I am using is now Hourglass. It was Bladestorm, but ever since I managed to get the 6-piece feather gear set, and you can use the skill anytime, I have changed it to Hourglass. Spirimon talents, very important aspect of the game in my opinion. So you can kind of see how I've weighted my talents. So I've maxed out the penetration, magic penetration here. I've put a lot into crit damage percentage as well as crit, and a lot less on the heavy attack, and just a little bit in crit damage reduction. So I'm really striving towards more of a DPS talent tree here, instead of just driving heavy attack. I think that's all to show here. So I'll quickly move on to my runes. So for my sets, I am holding currently 3-star Assault, a 2-star Demon Hunt, which I will explain in a second, as well as a 3-star Ocean. So the Ocean and the Demon Hunt sets are the two sets that it's a must-have, and the first ones that you should be getting anyway. The way that my page 1 and page 2 are set up, as you can see, is that I have more attack runes than I have defense runes. And that kind of balances out because Qigong is a little bit tanky. It's not as soft as other classes, so I'm fine to have more attack than defense. So I have 2 Alices with the Assault set, both at 532 top wash. I have Scarlet Naga with the Demon Hunt, another Scarlet Naga with the Demon Hunt, 2 Night Guards with the Ocean set, a Lafia, which has that no star Demon Hunt, and this is the reason why my Demon Hunt is only 2-star, which I'll explain in a second. I have a Dracula with no set, Dracula to finish the Assault 3-star, 2 Siriuses with no set to get maximum crit percentage, and lastly the Fancy Red Lotus Saintess to finish off the Ocean 1-star. So I did say that, yeah, the Lafia is the reason why I only have a 2-star Demon Hunt, and to explain, because it has been asked of me a few times in the past, is that at 3-star Demon Hunt, it's the magic penetration percentage you get is 18%. So I am missing 1.4% magic penetration from only carrying a 2-star. However, the Lafia, to get this extra crit damage, plus having a Dracula that does not have a set, which gives me an extra damage bonus, versus the 1.4% penetration that I'm missing from the magic penetration, is worth it, and I actually do more damage having this combination, hence why I've built my runes this way. And that explains my 2-star Demon Hunt. Looking at my legendary runes, so I am using a Shinobi Star, and my God Position bonus there. It is currently on +6 skill, as well as my second legendary rune is a Forest Queen on +10. And the reason why it's +10 is because I also have a second Forest Queen in my Supreme. Having a look then at my Supreme, so aside from the Forest Queen, got a Dracula, a maxed no set Alice, a Sirius, another Scarlet Naga, Night Guard. I have a Valkyrie legendary rune here just for the stats. I have a Fancy Snow Princess, and yes, I am aware that it does have a set. I'm just throwing it in here for the minute, as I don't really have anything else to put in here. And I do have a Celestial Saintess, which I've only just fancied today, so you can see that I haven't actually revamped it yet. So I am missing quite a bit of stats from this not being complete yet either. I think that pretty much explains my runes. Let's move on. Coming back to mount. So mount gear. A lot of my mount gear is where I get my intelligence stats from. So you can see my helm is purely focused on intelligence. My collar is focused more on crit. The chest armor, which is the most important gear piece your Spirimon could be wearing. You can see that I have invested quite a bit into this chest armor, so it's all focused on damage bonus and crit damage percentage. The saddle, which is mostly intelligence. Back armor, which is mostly intelligence, as well as the greaves, which is again mostly intelligence. Yep, that's pretty much all there is for the mount. Let's look at Aegis. So I did manage to get the golden paint for the sword Aegis just today. Yay! And to show you my gear, I don't think my gear stats is all that amazing. You can see that I only have 2 pieces of the Generation 2 because they're so hard to get. And I am using the Blaze set. So just a bit of an overview of my Aegis stats. Cards next. So my core cards, I am using Title Saintess, Judgment Angel, as well as Desolator Angel. And my components are all pretty much made up of any card that will drive high stats in heavy attack, charged attack, or intelligence really. So I'm just driving those 3 main stats, as you know, as well as some of the extra limited cards to drive debuff damage resist or the Aegis crit rate. Elemental Sprite. So I'm going to be honest to say that I don't think I really still understand how the Elemental Sprite works. I'm really just following my guildmates. So if you did have any questions there, I'm probably not the best person to ask. But just to show you my conduit, so I did go the top route for the conduit, which is I find is the more attack based one. So you can see that I have invested more on damage bonuses here. As well as putting more stuff into attack as well. Okay. My name cards is one of the things that I'm still in the middle of improving. So you can see it's a total mess right now. But my aim is to get all of the name cards above level 20 so that I can at least get these blue skills. And my end game is to have all 6 cards have elemental balance. Which is pretty much the damage reduction from elemental damage. My skill, I honestly don't know how the skill works. I feel like this skill panel never moves anytime I actually put a skill into the panel. But my skill total is currently at 10, which I think is actually really low compared to my guildmates that are of similar BR as I am. But it is what it is. And my pets. So I do use 3 fairy pets in PvP, so Fairy Dragon, Samurai, and Eternal Fire. My array is not really perfect. I've just pretty much slotted in what I could for what my current highest per stat bonus was. So I've just left it there. Looking at these 3 fairy pets, the talents, so my Fairy Dragon is currently on page 3, which I haven't really invested too much into. I've pretty much just opened the skill and done 1 skill effect, but left the rest because I am working towards Eternal Fire to go towards page 3. So currently I'm still just in the middle of page 2, but the material to get for the pet talent is just extremely difficult to obtain, so I'm just doing this slowly. And of course, Fury Samurai that doesn't yet have a talent. So Fairy Dragon is attached to Diamond Dragon, Samurai is attached to Cyclone, and Eternal Fire is attached to the Pyro Dragon. In terms of gear, so the Fairy Dragon is just a standard devotion set that I've left there. I haven't really done much with it because my end goal is to have 3 sets of loyalty gear. for the stat boost, but it's just so hard to get pet gear sorted out. So this has been in the making for months, but my samurai has a complete loyalty set with one piece that has the frost pet seal, and my eternal fire has another complete loyalty set with the +6 skill with the complete frost seal here. I think that's it. But if I've forgotten anything, please let me know. Again, if there's any questions, pop it in the comments box and I'll get back to you. But thank you so much for your patience and for sticking it out this long if you've made it all the way to the end. Thanks, guys. Bye.